What's up, everybody? Hello. Flyer Live Podcast, episode 32. We continue to count upwards. Uh, we're back again, Mitch.
Mhm.
We are, for those that haven't been here yet, I think most people have by now, that know us anyway. We are a amateur golf podcast. I'm Josh, by the way, and that's Mitch, or Jish. You can call me Jish if you want. We are the two co-hosts of this show. Occasionally we have guests on, but not today. Maybe tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next week. It's just one time a week. If we did it every day, tomorrow, holy cow.
Couldn't do
I
it.
don't know if I could do it. Props to the people that do shows like this every day. Um, where was I? Oh, yes. Uh, we are amateur golf podcast. We talk about amateur golf. We didn't talk about the pros. We're not going to talk about the Ryder Cup because we're not on the Ryder Cup, and we'll watch it, but the Ryder Cup means nothing to us because we're not as good as them. So we talk about amateur golf because that's what we do. That's who we are. Um, yes, we are live at the moment on X and YouTube. So if you're here watching live, feel free to chat along. We will chat back. Mitch and I can both see the chat. Questions, comments, requests, complaints, whatever you got, throw it in the chat. We'll read it and chat back. Our replays of the show, Mitch, also on X and YouTube. Those are the visual episodes. If you would like the audio, we are on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Amazon. Is that four? That was four. We're on those four.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, that's all I got. If you're here with us or watching either replay or live, uh drop us a follow or like or subscribe or whatever. We're trying to trying to build a golf community here of golfers that love golf as much as we do, that we can chat with whether we're here or not. We do a lot of chatting online with people usually about golf. Occasionally, we dive into some other things on Twitter, for example. It's probably not good for us to do that. I don't know anything other than golf and kind of how to use a calculator. I
Yeah,
should
that's
probably stay
fair.
out of everything else, but occasionally we do that. So yeah, that's all I got, Mitch. That's all I
That's-
got. What do you got? You got anything fun today?
Define fun.
You've been playing some competitive golf.
I've been playing so much competitive golf, and I posted this morning about how I have a lot more respect for tour pros, um,
Yeah.
just in the sense of playing competition golf, stroke play, where you're going out every day for whether it's 4 days in a row, 2 days in a row, you're putting everything out. Every shot matters. There's no like get up and walk away. I mean, you can, but then you don't get paid. Um,
Right.
and then after that, after 4 days of that, they hop on a plane, fly to their next destination, and do it again. And I have to say, after 4 days, 4 of the last 5 days of mine where I played competition golf, stroke play, put everything out, and a club champ and an MGA mid am event, I am tired.
What is
Like
it, Mitch?
I'm
What
just
is it
tired.
about you that's tired? Is
Literally
it your
everything.
feet?
No, my feet are fine. Like
Oh,
I could go walk. Like I mean, I could go walk a course right now. I'd be fine. Like that doesn't hurt. Like my body's not sore, but like I'm physically and mentally exhausted at the same time, even though I'm not sore. Does that make any sense?
yes.
Like my body just kind of wants to shut down for a day and just not do anything.
That feels a lot mental to me. because I know how that feels. I've done what you did a couple times before. Um, and that always felt mental to me. Um, yeah, if I was you though, my legs would be on fire probably as well. Well, everything really.
Nah,
But the mental part is tough because your brain is literally working as hard as it can for however many hours you're playing, and then you get done and you don't really stop thinking about it if you have to play the next day, and then you go again. Um, so just like taxing your brain that much, obviously, is you're just going to be tired from that. But for people like me, Mitch, who aren't in shape,
I'm not.
doing all that walking is quite a scene.
Yeah, I'm not in great shape either, but I do walk, you know, 36, 54 holes fairly regularly. You know, I try to get 10,000 steps a day. I go to the gym 4 days a week, typically, upper to lower split. So I mean, I work out and then I just eat like shit because I like Reese's and Reese's are fucking awesome. Uh,
That's true. That's true. I'm on
yeah,
board there.
but yeah, man, I'm just like I just feel exhausted mentally, especially mentally, and I think that's just wearing into my physical body a little bit, just kind of needing a break to step away. Uh, but like you said, I think a lot of that just stems from the constant grinding of a tournament round because your brain it's meant for flight or fight, right? Like that's what our little Neanderthal brains do is we're just responding to things that are happening around us, and whether that's good or bad, and usually we're not aware of it, and it just kind of compounds. And during a tournament round, competitive tournament where you're trying to put everything out, you're trying to play your best, your brain is perceiving everything as threats, trying to diagnose every little thing that needs to happen, could happen, where to hit a shot, how to read this putt. Um, if something goes bad, it's like, okay, then you're having to reroute your brain chemistry a little bit to be like, it's okay. It's bad, but it's okay. Like we can still play from here. Everything's okay. Even though your brain is like, oh no, oh shit. Like this is not what we wanted to do. No. And it's fighting you the entire way.
Yeah.
Right. But you're also combating that. So I think that's where a lot of maybe the mental exhaustion of playing tournament rounds comes from, is that constant battle within yourself of just fighting off those demons and also trying to concentrate, stay in the moment, and play your best golf.
hmm Do you so you posted both of your rounds. I'm gonna ask you a specific question about your second round. So you didn't have the greatest first round of all time, but at some point in your second round, this is of the MJ Mid-Am.
The
At some
MJ
point in the second round, you had played well enough to be like around the spot where you could play for a third day, and
Yep.
then the wheels fell off, Mitch. Do you think this mental and possibly physical fatigue played a part in how you finished in the last like 5 6 holes where it was like what I think you had, what was it, one double or was it the one, no, it was the double
It's
and then a
double.
handful of bogeys after that. Was it the double and everything's like ready to just shut down, even though I mean you could have played spectacular golf in the last 5 holes and been fine, but at some point so like those things happen, and you can't recover because your mind and your body's just already so tired. Do you think that had a little bit to do with that maybe?
I think it definitely did. So to give a little background to people, because I think I was texting with Josh, but obviously I don't think I posted everything on Twitter, as we can talk about a little bit now. Um, so yeah, I was playing. I played bad day one. Like my driver was lost, and day two, like my driver was so freaking lost. I have no idea what happened. So like I was battling those mental demons at the same time of like, I'm going to pull this club out because it's a par five and I need to hit this club. But at the same time, I don't know where this club is going to go. It could be perfect, or I could like duck hook this 50 yards left or flare it 100 yards right. And I have no idea which one is coming right now. But, but I'm like, I have to hit it. Like I just have to hit this club.
You do when you're playing a long golf course as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't you if you want to play well, you can't be like, okay, driver's done forever. I'm taking a 3 wood and we're playing from, I don't know what yardage you played from, but it's probably at least 6,800 yards you're playing from. You
I think
can't
it's like
just play whatever. Yeah, you just can't really play 3 wood when you're playing in like big time events. You
right.
can, you just won't. Your
And,
driver just has to be good.
like so, I mean, you can sit there. You could play a 3 wood. You could hit a 4 iron. And by the way, I could stripe a 4 iron off the tee. Like I could. I kid you not. Yesterday I hit three 4 irons off the tee because that's the shot that was required. You just wanted to hit it like 220, 230 ish because it's like a weird little corner and there's like hazards in play and
Hmm.
dog leg, whatever, right? So that's the shot required. But I strike them. Like I could hit them on a string 230 yards. But then I would pull out my driver and I would have absolutely no idea what's about to happen. So, which might seem kind of weird for a lot of amateur golfers like ourselves, where most amateurs really struggle with long irons. Like long irons tend to
Hmm.
be the hardest clubs in the bag to hit, but that was not a problem. Like I could hit it on a rope and it was fine. But I pulled out the driver and something was clicking in my brain where like I don't know, my setup was wrong, my grip is wrong. Like I'm like trying to diagnose it on the course and I just couldn't do it. Like I just could not figure it out. It was so weird. Um, but I'll come back to that a little bit later, and we'll kind of get back to the point of the double. Um, so as I was playing that last round, I knew the cut was probably going to be somewhere around 9, 10 over par, and I started the round at 8 over. Um, I was doing okay. I was 1, 2 over on the front, 3 over on the front. No, 2 over on the front. Yeah, okay, 2 over on the front because I was in that 10 over par total,
Hmm.
and I just kept telling myself like I was hitting really good shots. I was for the most like I was still fighting my driver, but I was finding a way to keep the ball in play. I was getting into enough good positions where I think I had in the span of hole like 7 through hole 13. I think I had 4 or 5 like really good looks at birdie, like really good looks. Um, one was actually like a 25 footer for eagle that I left 5 feet short. I did make the birdie putt, but that was real bad. But the rest of them, I hit really good putts, like just solid putts. I hit my line. I had pretty good speed. One ended up like a just a one ball turn short of the hole. Had a couple others that lipped out, like, and a couple others that like just were burning the edges. So like none of those putts dropped. None of them. Even though I like it can't be too mad. I hit good putts. I hit good shots up to that point. So I just kept telling myself like through that stretch, I'm like, just keep hitting good shots. Like your putts are going to fall. Just keep hitting good shots. Like it's going to happen. So I kept telling myself that. And I got to hole 14 and I was debating. I'm like, okay, a 3 wood or a driver off the tee. It's a weird dogleg left. There's water down the left side. If you go through the fairway, there's a bunch of trees. There's not really water unless you go like 330 yards, then you can run into water. There's like a river that runs along that side to the long and the right side of the dogleg. And then there's like trees and water hazard that go all the way down the left. And then like there's this weird pond that's like 50 yards short of the green. It's not really in play off the tee, but it can potentially be in play on your second shot. So I was debating like, do I hit 3 wood? Do I hit driver? One of the guys or two of the guys in my group hit driver. One came up really short, like almost like just to the corner. I think he only hit it like maybe 240, 230. And the other guy hammered his driver and it just trickled through the fairway. Like it wasn't in a too bad spot. And I'm like, okay. I'm like they're like the wind's in our face, like 10 miles an hour in our face. It's 280 to the end of the fairway, like on this line that I was trying to hit. Like, and if I hit 3 wood, if I don't hit it greater, if I hit it a little too high, the wind's going to catch it and I'm going to hit it like 220, 230 yards. And then I'm going to have a 200-yard approach shot into this green. And these greens are not big, mind you. And there's water everywhere, right? I'm like, okay, like those are my options right now. Is I can hit driver and hope the wind hits it enough, and I hit a good line where I still have a shot at the green, or I hit this 3-wood and accept that I'm probably looking at a 200 and 210-yard approach shot into this par four. And after watching the other two hit their driver, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go driver, and I pushed it a little bit, like not a lot, like it wasn't so egregious like some of my drives were the last 2 days, but it was just enough where it was too far right on the dog leg that goes left that it went through the fairway, and I kid you not, was sitting like in a tree, like
Oh no.
like the tree going into the ground, and all the roots were kind of exposed a little bit.
Yeah.
It was right up against the base of this tree in the roots. I'm like, well, that's a really bad break. Like that's so bad. I'm like a little bit. If I had like if it stopped like a foot short, I would have been able to punch out and then hit an approach shot and try to have a putt at par and maybe make bogey at worst. So I'm like, okay, but because of where it was at, I had to take it unplayable. And then there was trees overhanging my direct approach to the green, so I had to punch out anyway. So it was basically a 2-shot penalty that my drive caused me there, because I had to take the unplayable and then I had to punch out. And then I hit my approach and I 2-putted for a double. And at that point, just thinking about the mental fatigue that's just wearing on me, I'm like, shit. I know I need to be 9 or 10 over, and I just went to 12 over. I'm like, I don't think this matters anymore. Like I'm not like I have to birdie 2 of the last 4 holes to have a shot of making it. And I went to the next hole. I hit a really solid 4-iron that went up the right side of the fairway. It was in a good position, and then I just hit like this awful like slice thin 9-iron that ended up on the right side of the missed the green to the right. I thought I hit an okay chip, but it ran past the hole like 12 feet. It came out just a little bit hot out of the rough. So I had like a 12, 13, 14 foot or something like that back. And I think that was another one that I lipped out, and I'm like, oh, fuck, another bogey. I'm like, all right, well, I'm at 13 over. This is all going to fucking hell. Like, thanks. But at that point, like, I'm really checked out right now. And then we get to this next hole, which is a 460-yard par four, plays
Mm.
downwind. Like, again, you kind of have to hit driver.
Oh yeah.
It's 460 yards, unless you want to hit a 3-wood 250 and have 210 into a small green. But looking back on it, I probably should have just hit 3-wood and accepted the long approach, because I was hitting my irons okay. I should have just accepted the long approaches on both 14 and 16 and been fine with that, and just thought, okay, I'm playing well enough. I can hit that shot reasonably close to the green, if not on, and have a chance for par that way. But anyway, hole 16, there's water that kind of creeps in about 260, 270. And if you miss even further right, it's kind of like 250. Well, you know what somebody who's struggling with driver does? They absolutely smash it, but it's flared right.
Oh no.
Flared right about probably 30 yards off my aiming point of where I wanted it. Uh, Flew directly into the water. So okay, like again, at this point, like I'm just really checked out. I'm just going to like I look for my ball for maybe 3 seconds, because we didn't see a splash. It's like maybe it's embedded in here somewhere, because it was kind of like wet floodplain sort of area.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I just told one of my playing partners, like, don't worry about it. I'm just gonna drop. I don't care. So so I dropped, hit 7-iron from 190 yards out. My ball landed a foot from the hole.
Of course
I
it
was
did.
just, I was aiming at flags, dude. I'm like, I'm just going to hit it right at this flag. Lands a foot from the hole. I mean, it rolls out to like 35 feet. So I have 35 feet for par. Almost make it. Almost make it. Like that was another one that just burned the edge. Uh, But yeah, so then have a tap in bogey. Sure, whatever. Don't care. Next hole, quirky little par four, hit 7 iron, because that's the shot that's required. It's a 310-yard par four, but the landing area, if you hit driver, is approximately 30 yards wide with water on both sides. Like
Nice.
you're not, and there's a tree on the right side too that you have to like curve around or go
Nice.
directly over. So the play is like a 8, 7, 6 iron, depending on how far you hit your clubs. Like that's you hit 170, 180, maybe a 190-yard shot. Like that's you're maxing out there.
That sounds terrible.
Yep, it's horrible. Uh, but then again, I'm just sitting here. I'm like, all right, I am currently 14 over par. I don't know what the cut's going to come in at. I'm pretty sure it's going to be 10 over. So I'm like, I need to make this shot.
Yes.
So I took dead aim at this flag. It's a back right flag, like tucked in the corner because it's a tournament. Everything is tucked. I'm just like, fuck it. I'm aiming right at this thing. I pulled it a little bit, but I ended up with like a 10-footer that I made for birdie. So I'm like,
Nice.
cool. All right. I guess I need a hole in one on the last hole, which is it's a par three finishing hole. So I'm like, I'm gonna try to make a hole in one because that's
Nice.
right now.
Yeah.
But I flared a little 8 iron into a bunker and ended up making bogey. Doesn't fucking matter. I don't know. It was just like again, I know we just kind of went over my whole end of round and nobody probably really cares that much about that. But to get back to the mental fatigue of it, something just broke after that double bogey where I'm just like, none of the rest of this matters because I'm not going to make two or three birdies coming home. Like the odds of that happening are so small. Could it happen? Maybe. I don't know. But I just kind of like I almost like my brain started being like, okay, this is over, and like just started checking out. Like my green reading, like I stopped looking at both sides of the hole. Like I just like I'm like,
Yeah.
just please get me off this golf course.
Yeah. 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 I know how that is all too well. Um it it's funny how it just never happens at the beginning of the round, at least for me. Maybe it does for other people, but like that's usually just a thing that happens at the end where it's just at some point it's like, okay, whatever I was trying to accomplish today, there's no chance. Um, and like if you bogey the first hole or even triple the first hole or whatever, like at the beginning, it's like, well, that sucks, but I have all these holes still.
Mhm.
So even if I'm 3 over through one, it's fine. Like I can make a couple birdies and then I'm 1 over through nine, and then I don't feel so bad or whatever the case may be. But it's all it's always at the end of the round, and and maybe not even in a spot where it actually is over, like where yours was, where like you're legitimately good enough to like birdie 3 of 4 holes and then be fine. Um,
I've literally done that. I've literally finished eagle birdie birdie before. Like
yeah,
I I know I could do it, but at that moment I was done.
yeah, yeah. So it's just it is funny that it's always at the end of the round where it's like X happened, where it's like a crazy lip out or you get unlucky plug in a bunker or whatever the case may be, and that's the thing. It's never the top off the first tee, it's never the shank on the fourth hole. It's always the plugged lie on the 14th or 15th. It's like, well, now it's over even though it might not be. uh yeah,
Yep.
so
You
it's funny how that works.
you want to know what's crazy? The cut was 11 over, and I made one birdie. If I like, I mean, obviously there's so many different things that could have went into play, but it's like if I would have just kept grinding and find a way to fight through and just like, okay, let's make some pars. Let's find a way to get on the green. Maybe you make a putt. I I might have still made the cut, but like I don't know the mental fatigue of not just the mid am event, but I played my club champ over the weekend too, which is stroke play, and it's putt everything out.
Hmm.
You're not picking balls up. So it's like I think it was just the culmination of everything happening. My driver woes, like I was so in my head, like I was just ready to go home.
That may be something that you and I have to work on, by the way, because that also was a thing. what you did at the end of the mid am, we also did at the end of the four ball, where we had a score in mind, and then we got to 17 and 18 ish, and we're like, we have to press to get this score, which ended up being the score, but in the four ball, we were really close to it, to not needing the score that we were trying to shoot. And instead of just like, let's just play because just do what we normally do, we press a little bit at the end and then make a score that's probably worse than what we may have scored if we would have just played it just to make par, basically.
Hmm.
We may have scored one shot better. It in the four ball wouldn't have mattered, and obviously in the your mid am it wouldn't have either. But also, if we didn't press too much, maybe we shoot one or two better and we're in. You know, that's that is an interesting thing about in tournament play about scoreboard watching or leaderboard watching is, or just even looking at prior history, because that can give some indication as well. It's the you look and you're like, this is what it's going to be, even though you don't really know.
Hmm.
And then you press a little bit, and all of a sudden you're like, if I just wouldn't have pressed on that last hole or the last two holes, I might have been fine. Even though, as we talked about in the four ball, and you could probably come up with a million examples in the mid am as well. Pressing in the last hole, sure that cost you one, but there's probably 10 other examples throughout all the holes that you played where you probably could have done something different, thought something different, prepared differently, read a green differently, where that could have saved you the stroke or two. But it
Hmm.
always you always think about the last one.
Hmm.
It's very strange. I
Yeah.
don't know where I was going with that.
Well, I think maybe we can wrap up this portion of the this conversation with what can people take away from this? What can we take away from this? And maybe it's just never press, like never be like, I need to go and do XYZ, because you may not need to do that, because
Mm-hmm.
you don't know how everyone else is playing. You don't know where things are ultimately going to end. You just have to continue playing one shot at a time, which is obviously what we always try to do. You're always trying to execute the shot at hand, but there's always going to be a little part of your brain that knows, like, but I do need to get to there, like,
Mm-hmm.
right, like you know where it's roughly going to be, and you're like, I need that to get that spot. So how do I get that spot? Well, I have to do XYZ, even though you might not have to. So I think maybe we take away that just try not to press. Like, you never really need to press. Like, you just need to play your game. And I think maybe there was a podcast I listened to, Par Train. I'm sure you've heard of Par Train before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but they had one of the guys' former coach on there, and God, how did he put it? Um, Shoot, I forgot where I was going with that. I just lost my train of thought. Talking about the Par Train.
You were something par train. Uh,
Oh man, this is we're a great podcast. This is so good. No.
well, here's what I'm gonna say. Uh, there, if we could take anything away from one of the best pro golfers of all time, uh, of Mr. Tiger Woods, one of the million things he's famous for in golf, maybe the thing that applies to amateur golfers the most is just uh his ability and his drive to just stick to the plan no matter where he is on the leaderboard or how he's playing or whatever it is. He's said it a million times that it doesn't, even if he's 20 behind, he still plays as if like he's winning by 20.
Hmm.
So um he plays the same way every time, and maybe we can use that, and if it's good enough for Tiger, it's probably good enough for us, where it's doesn't matter how far behind you are, how far ahead you are. You have, in theory, you go into an event or sometimes in just regular rounds, you have a plan going in. You know your shot shapes, you know what you're capable of, and you just play to that and then
Hmm.
let the chips fall as they may because golf is very random and very lucky. Um, as much as people like to tell me that it's not, like just play golf and you'll find that out. Like I don't know how to tell you otherwise. Especially putting. Like some as you've figured out, like sometimes you just putt really good and the ball doesn't go in the hole. It's because putting's very random. So just stick to the plan. If it works out, great. It worked out, and maybe at the end of the round, if you stuck to your plan, you made it, and maybe you didn't. But at least you know that you followed the plan the whole way through, and you didn't change things just to try and fit an outcome because you don't actually know the outcomes.
Hmm.
So I think we can steal that from Tiger because I think he's very famous for that.
Yep. And that reminded me, I had to write it down because I had the thought come
You
back in my
found
head.
it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So it was John Reese. It was from the Par Train podcast during their interview with him. And he just said, know who you are. And that's it. Like, know who you are, know how you play golf, and play that way. Like, you don't have to change anything about that. And I think that was one thing that I was trying to watch a little bit of my playing partner because he did that really, really well. Is he just knew how his game was and he just played that way. Like, he wasn't the longest hitter. He would hit his driver 240 ish, maybe up to 260 if he really caught one. Um, just very, but he hits the ball very straight. Just a very, very good golfer. And he never tried to do something just because other people in the group were doing that. He just knew how to play his game. I mean, he was hitting putter from 20 yards off the green because that was
That's
just
his
his game.
game.
Like,
Yeah.
the crazy thing is, like, I saw him also hit wedges from that same areas, and he would hit those pretty good too. So I don't know what it was about certain things, but he decided, like, I'm going to putt this one or I'm going to chip this one. He just knew his game and he played that way. So I think that's something I need to get better at. Just like hole 14, my original plan going into that hole was hit 3 wood, and then I hit driver.
Yeah. Yeah.
I I knew my game, but I didn't play to it, and I
Yeah.
got punished because of that. In part because of that. If I chose a different line, maybe it ends different. But I think that's an interesting thing that we can take from John Reese is just know who you are and play that way. Very similar like what you said about Tiger. Like, he just knows his game and he plays that way.
And for him, it he just won every time. So
Yeah, I mean,
that
it
ain't gonna
helps.
happen for us. That's as far as we go. Like we're not gonna win every time, but you can win the mental battle every time. You can take a win out of that. Put an A+ on your mental scorecard. I would take that every time.
Yep. Yeah. Like I think that's one thing that we all can do, right? Is win the mental battle, but also we can always make the correct choice. You can get really
Hmm.
good at just making the correct choice. That doesn't mean you're going to execute everything perfectly. You're going to hit bad shots, but you can make the correct choice in every situation.
You certainly can.
And that's something that I'm still working on getting better at. Sometimes I think I can hit shots where it's like no, I could not have hit that shot. Like, the probability of me successfully doing that was so small, the risk wasn't worth the reward, and it was a bad decision. Like, you can think back on it right away, like, that was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. And in a competition, you don't get to redo shots like that. That's
Yep.
you get the one chance. So you have to be prepared to make the right choice. And I think that comes with practice too, of just in your practice, in your regular play, is always trying to be making the correct decision.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. And yeah, the shot making is a like pretty big there too because it's you have to know if you're looking at a shot and it's like I can bend this thing around the tree, but you in practice or in just regular rounds, you've never done that before. You kind of know how it works, but you've actually never done it, never seen it happen. It's like you're not gonna be able to, like, you can't do that in competition. Like if you
Mhm.
try and do that, like that is the wrong decision, whether it works out or not. And most of the time it's not going to. So when you do it and you smash it off the tree that's right in front of you, or you pull it way out of, or do whatever, like you should just know that that's gonna happen, like, because you've never done that before. That's not in your arsenal. Like, sure, you know how to do it, but it's a whole different game. Like actually executing what you're
Mhm.
supposed to be doing. So
And I was just doing that today during just a fun round. Like I was in a spot where I'm like, I'm gonna try to hit this like low cutting 8 iron, and it popped straight up and hit this pine tree. Like I didn't need to hit that shot. Like I could have just punched out fairly normal and it would have been fine. But I'm like, this seems like more fun, and that's what I was trying to do today anyway. Just after being exhausted, like I'm just going to have fun and try to hit the shot.
yeah, that's another takeaway for anybody that plays like a semi decent amount of competitive golf, as you have done a lot this year. I haven't done as much. But you got to give yourself like a little bit of a release afterwards. So like play your competitive golf, and then like if you're gonna go play golf again, just like don't even keep score. That's sometimes it's like that's just what it takes. Like just go out there, hit balls, try and bend shit around corners, try and hit weird shots off the tee, hit stingers if you want. Just like do things that are a little bit more fun and a little bit more not normal, just to like release the tension and the pressure that your brain is used to on the golf course. Because if you just, I can't remember who I responded to. Somebody on Twitter. Um, I don't remember who it was, but I said something along the lines of like competition golf is fun, and but like if all you do is grind every single round. It was somebody talking about being burnt out of competition golf. And it's like if that's all you do is just compete and compete and compete and grind over every 2 footer, eventually golf is gonna suck for you. Like
Mhm.
because the game is too hard, and you can't be perfect, and you're never gonna be good because the game is too hard. So at some point, it's going to break you down, and it's not going to be fun. And people quit. People just quit because that's what they do. They grind, they grind, they grind. It becomes never fun because you can never get as good as you think you should be, and then you quit. The rounds that you just go out there with your buddies and have 5 beers and start slinging balls around trees, as long as you're doing it safely, of course. Um, like those rounds are just important as like your competition rounds, just to release the pressure from your brain of like all the competing and all the grinding.
Mhm.
You and I are
Yeah.
both good at that, by the way. I love going out on like a fucking Sunday morning and just like I think I'm gonna hit a 5 iron stinger off the tee on this hole. And normally I would never do that, but like I kind of feel like watching a stinger off the tee this time. So
I kind of did that like, again. I tried to do that today, although I wanted to do that more today. But I was playing with a couple people who one's not very good, and then my boss, who is a decent golfer, but he's like an 8 or 9. They're like, let's play 2v1 ball, best ball against you. I'm like, all right, sure.
fine, sure.
I literally played the front nine with not a care in the world. Like I hit so many bad shots, and I'm like, I don't care, and I don't really want to play this. And then like they're trying to talk trash to me. I'm like, dude, I don't want to do any of this right
Yeah, yeah.
now.
Nice win, man. Congrats.
I know they were like 4 up after the front nine, and then I came back and I won like 3 in a row on the back nine. I'm like, all right, like I was like, I don't really want to play this way. And then they finally won, and it was like hole 18, and I think I was like 170 yards out, and my boss he usually hits like this really low ball. He doesn't hit the ball far, so he's always playing a little runner. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna hit the ball just like you.
Hell
So
yeah.
I took a 4 iron out from 170 yards and just like chipped it. I swear I got like 5 feet off the ground and rolled up like just to the right side of the green. I'm like, awesome. I'm just gonna do that now. Might do that tomorrow. We'll see.
Yes. Love it. And pick
Yeah,
up some putts occasionally. God, everybody that grind. This is why I hate the handicap thing, because everyone's like, if you play, you better post your score. It's like sometimes I just want to go out there and just like I'm gonna hit it to 10 feet. I'm just gonna pick the ball up, and then I just like I don't care, and I'm just gonna move on. Like play those rounds too. You don't have to grind over every fucking round you play,
yeah. Or
because
even if
you'll
you don't,
hate golf eventually. I promise you, you will hate golf if you do that.
yeah, golf is meant to be fun, right? Like so you want to do things that are fun, and for me, and sounds like for you too, is just going out and trying to hit different shots that you would never do any other day because it's not the shot that makes the most sense in that situation. But like, kind of seems like a fun thing to try.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Do that
Yeah.
occasionally.
And you don't
And
necessarily have to.
obviously, like, sorry, like have the rounds where you are going out and you're playing for a score. Like you should
Mhm.
do that too, but mix in the fun ones too.
Yeah,
Like that should be a requirement.
yeah, and you don't necessarily have to like pick up a 10 footer, but don't sit there and read the
Right.
putt forever, go back and forth to make sure your lines are right. Like take a general guess on where the ball's going, step up and just hit it. Like no, you don't even need your normal routine. Like just walk up, hit it. If it's 4 feet, just walk up, tap it, like pick up and then pick up the ball. Like, it doesn't have to be that serious all the time, especially if you're just coming off of serious golf. Like you said, like we've talked about all night here, is you need to just give your brain a break of like this isn't life or death. Like you're not, and I say life and death even though we all know we can talk ourselves logically into like this isn't actually life or death, but the human brain is wired to perceive things as life and death. Like
Hmm.
this thing is going to harm me or do something negatively to me, therefore I need to protect myself from it. So then it gets, yeah, it gets all wonky, and your brain has to go into overdrive. So
Right.
just do things that are fun without a care in the world, and just setting that expectation will help to relieve the tension of all the competition golf.
Agreed. All right. What else we got? That was very deep. Do we have anything going on that's maybe not as deep?
I'm playing Stonebridge on Sunday. That's gonna be
Is
fun.
that
I'm going
right?
to State Fair on Saturday. I'm going to eat so much fried food.
Have you played Stone Ridge before?
One time, I think I shot like a 94.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Uh, this is a very local comment. So if you're local to like Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, wherever you may find yourself with the ability to play Stone Ridge, here's what I tell everybody that either hasn't played Stone Ridge before or rarely plays it. Whatever your time is that you're going to allocate to practice before the round when you get there. So if it's, let's just say it's 30 minutes. Take 25 of those minutes and use them on the putting green.
Mhm.
And then you can take the other five and do whatever you want, hit balls or chip or do whatever you want, stretch. Spend 90% of your practice time at Stoneridge on the putting green, and you will thank me later. Because if you're gonna shoot like as a good golfer, if you're gonna shoot like in the 90s, it's because you fucked up on the greens. I gotta put that. I guarantee it. It's not that hard of a course, really. It can get like a little bit narrow in places, but it's linksy and it's mostly wide open. It's unless you really get into the fescue, like you can pretty much find your ball in most holes, except some holes on the back nine. But it really gets you on the greens because they are super fast and they got some hills.
Mhm.
It's hilly, so do that on Sunday. So
Yes.
you're just in the cities all weekend then?
Yeah, just Saturday, Sunday. Probably leave Sunday night. Um, but yeah, it's State Fair time. Like I said, I need a break from golf, and I'm just going to eat a ton of fried food.
I don't think we're going to the state fair this year. We usually go every year, at least
Yeah.
once.
She got like a what 9 month old now? Sorry, 6 month old. How old's your kid?
5 months,
Yeah, yeah.
5. 5 month old and a 3.5 year old. I don't really like the fair too much anyway, though. Mitch, I don't think this is new news for anybody here or you. I hate people.
People are the worst,
That's if you
but
hate
fried
people,
food is
that's about
very
the
good.
worst place to go.
But fried food and Martha's cookies are very good.
Martha's cookies are fantastic.
Just get a giant bucket of them, like 300 cookies, that you have to eat 50 cookies just so you can close the lid.
They do. I get a little bit sad of those. They do. They do dry out fairly quickly. Although
That's
they
because
probably should because they're like $4 for 100 of them.
yeah, I mean, you should be eating them within like 12 hours, obviously.
Yeah, yeah. I do love fried food. But I actually never. I don't usually eat too much at the fair. I have more beers than I have anything. Well, I usually do that anywhere, anytime I go anywhere. So
I'm all about the food when I go there.
yeah, everybody is. That's what it's about.
Yeah,
Ripping food, walking around, people watching.
I don't even drink.
It's a great people watching place if you like people watching.
Oh yeah, you'll see some strange shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Anyway, I think sorry, we'll talk more about the fair next week.
yeah.
Uh, but
State Fair show next week.
yes, let's do that. Recap all the
We'll
food.
just recap all of your food on Thursday. That could take an hour.
It could. It could. I could ramble. Anyway, the one last thing that we want to talk about tonight is you approached me for a new segment
I did.
that you bring to the show. So I'm going to let you discuss that and then also recruit the people for it.
Yes, yes. I think I've actually brought this up multiple times in the past, but occasionally, as I like to do on Twitter, I like to read things about golf improvement that other people post, and then I like to throw my 2 cents in because I feel like I have a solid knowledge foundation about how to go about doing that in the best way. Um, which is not the same way for everybody, by the way, Mitch, but it's close. Anyway, so recently saw a couple other tweets like literally this week and of people giving their opinions on how bad golfers can get better at golf quickly. And it always is people saying, all you gotta do is chip and putt. Just practice chipping and putting, and then you'll be good. And I'm like, no, you have to, like, you can chip and putt as good as you want, but if you're chipping and putting and your putting's going in for sixes and sevens, like, you're still gonna shoot 100. And the last time I checked, like if you shoot over 100, most people's goal is I want to have a score that starts with a 9. You can't get sixes and sevens and shoot 99. You can have one of them, but you can't have a lot of them. So,
Mhm.
so anyway, so I see these things all the time, and there is a very core recipe for for sure breaking 100 and borderline shooting in the 80s. Um, and so my idea is we find people that are currently like 100 shooters. I would actually prefer somebody that's never broken 100 before, or multiple people. Um, and we take them under our wing, Mitch, since we like to boast about how much we know about golf improvement. So I feel like we should prove it. Take some people under our wing that are actually dedicated to being 100 shooters and not being 100 shooters anymore. So they will put like a few days of practice in a week. They will play, at least once a week, something along those lines. Like somebody that you can tell is actually dedicated to like wanting to improve. And then we walk them through how to do it. And then we see how long it takes for them to do it. I feel like it's going to take not very long at all. Um, and that would be like another off segment or off like an offline type part of the show, like the whole thing. Like we would just record stuff kind of offline, and then occasionally we'll just have that person or those people on here live when we're talking live, and we'll go over things occasionally too. Um, but anyways, long rambling there to say we are looking to find a person or multiple people that shoot in the hundreds often or all the time that are dedicated to wanting to get better, and we'll take you under our wing and we'll teach you how to be better. Because I think you and I agree on the best way to go about that, and I think it works. And I think for us to prove it, I think we just take people through it.
Hmm.
So that's that. So if you're listening now or listening later, maybe I'll figure out how to maybe figure out how to cut that. And we can clip it. We got to get more. We got to. I shouldn't say more clips. We got to get some clips.
Yeah, we have 0 clips, but
I'll get on that. Maybe this will be our first clip. I'll clip
yeah.
it and see if we can post it. But if you're listening now or listening later, and you are one of those,
Or you know somebody.
or you know somebody, yeah, that is that shoots in the hundreds and wants to be better and will actually put the effort in, not just like I shoot 100, I don't practice, I play once every other 3 months. Like we're not looking for you because we can't help you. Like to get better at golf, you just have to like swing the club quite frequently. So if you're one of those people and you shoot in the hundreds, let's chat. And of course, you'd have to be like comfortable like coming on and chatting with us and potentially filming your swing and being okay with other people seeing it. So that's part of it too. But
Mhm.
yeah, if you're one of those people, or yeah, you know somebody, or if your wife is one of those people, like we can work with ladies, whoever,
Mhm.
juniors. The recipe, our recipe, Mitch, which I believe we believe in the same recipe or a very similar version of the same recipe. Uh, it'll work for anybody. You can be 10 years old. I think it works.
Mhm. So, what would be your recipe? Sorry, we should start wrapping this up, but
We got
I
6 minutes. I can give my recipe. My recipe has 4 steps. It's very easy. Golf is
okay.
really easy when you break it down into 4 steps, Mitch.
Okay, break it down.
Step one.
You have minutes.
Step one, ball off the tee has to be in play and has a reasonable look at the green on every shot. Step two, your next shot has to just advance towards the green. Doesn't matter if it's on the green, around the green, just has to advance towards the green. Step three is a mini step. It's not even a real step. Step three is if you aren't on the green in step two, ball goes on the green. Doesn't you don't have to, we're not pin seeking in step three. If even if you're on the fringe, we aren't looking to make it. Ball just has to go on the green. Step four, never three putt. If those are the ultimate goals, if that's what you're shooting for, and you can be relatively solid in all four of those categories, you can shoot 90. 90, not 99, 90. Because if you do all of that on every single hole, that gives you that basically guarantees you a bogey on every hole. So on a par 72, 18 over gives you 90. Now, obviously, you're not going to do that on every hole. However, there will be holes where you double or you triple. But if you follow that equation, there will also be holes where you're on the green for birdie and you make it, or you're on the green and you have a short par putt because you just randomly chipped it kind of close, or you just make a long par putt. Now you're making pars, so those pars are going to offset your doubles. Plus, if you're just trying to shoot 99, you have 9 other strokes in there to play with too.
Mhm.
So the like that's it's just so simple. Get off the tee, get it going towards the green, get it on the green, and don't three putt. You can shoot 90 without much effort.
Yep. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Close to
Yeah.
your
So
recipe, very similar.
yeah, so maybe next week we can actually break down that a little bit more because obviously those are the great outlines of how to eventually break 100, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there are little steps that you have to take in order to, be
Of
able to get
course.
off the tee, be able to hit the balls
Of course.
somewhat straight, to be able to, not three putt. There are some techniques, there are some things that you have to be able to do,
Yes.
and there are strategies to improving there. So maybe next week we can break that down a little bit, and I think that could be a fun little segment. And people should, if you know anyone, yeah, sign up. It could be an interesting thing to just dabble in a little bit.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it'd be fun. And I think it will work too. I think we could get people much better at golf pretty quickly.
Yeah, honestly, you could probably shave like 5 strokes off just by making better decisions.
Yeah, which is mostly what that recipe is, right? It's you're just especially when you're hitting balls towards the green, that's just mental. You're not even like we're not looking at pins. It's not even when we're next to the green, we're not looking at the pins. When we're putting, we're not trying to make it. I mean, if it goes in, it's great, but it's all mental. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Let's end it there.
Okay,
Well, we'll
great.
pick next week on that same line. Uh, Thanks everyone for hanging out tonight, listening to my ramblings of being a terrible golfer.
I
Um,
enjoyed it.
yeah, no,
I enjoy
honestly,
your pain.
it wasn't even that bad. Like overall, like if that's the worst I play, that's a marked improvement of where I was a couple years ago, and that's something I can take away too. But anyway, let's wrap it up. Again, thanks everyone for watching. We appreciate you all. If you're on X, make sure to follow us, share our content. We appreciate it. Feel free to go over to YouTube, like, subscribe, share over there. Everything boosts the algorithm. It's good for us to help us build this amateur golf community. And you can always go and check out our audio podcast there too. We do our best to explain everything as well as we can, trying to get better at that. But yeah, check us out over there, and we will see you all next week on Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Normal Time, the
Hmm.
only time zone that matters.
That